they made some plays that allowed them to go from 73 million to 750 million 4 years later in 2023. They did a 10x. What in the world could take a brand from 73 million to 750 million dollars? What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another edition of the Mouthful of Marketing podcast. We on episode number 3, bro.
Come on, man. We made it.
Episode number 3, yo. And that's our goal this year, is to just really be consistent with this podcast and bringing you dope marketing gems throughout the course of the year. So we on a roll. We were in Vegas last week. We still did it. We back home and we doing it again, bro.
Consistency is the key. Anybody out there listening, consistency. It's amazing. Something about consistency that I learned a couple months ago is consistency will make you like things that you didn't like at first, right? Have you guys ever heard like a song on the radio and the first time you heard it, like you absolutely hated it? You're like, yo, this is the most terrible song ever made in life. But then the radio just keeps playing it and they keep playing it. And next thing you know, 3 months later, you over there just bopping. You just like, this is my jam, this is my vibe. But you hated the song at first, right? You hated it. You told everybody you hated it, and now you love it. Why? Consistency. So if you're listening right now and you haven't been consistent, this is your sign. You have to start being more consistent, because when you show up, right, your customers will show up. Because you know what they say, out of sight, out of mind.
That's right? A fact, bro.
And if you're out of mind, you're out of pocket. So,
ooh, yes, 100%, man. And here's the thing with being consistent, you're seeing consistency on all fronts, right? Like all the successful businesses out here that are really doing something and making the money, they're all very consistent. And that kind of that's a good segue to what we're going to talk about tonight. So Louis Vuitton just had their fashion show. Like they wrapped it up like an hour ago or something like that. And I was on Twitter, or X as you would call it. I was on there and I was looking at Louis V and I saw that Pharrell was trending, like number 3 in the world. And I was like, yo, what's going on? So I peeped it, and it was the actual Louis V fashion show. You know, he's like the creative director now of Louis Vuitton. So he's coming up with all these designs for these outfits, which are dope, by the way. And obviously, you know, with Pharrell's one of those visionaries that got that outer limits type of mind.
Definitely does. Shout out to Pharrell, man. One of my favorite producers in the world.
In the game. Yeah, man. But so Louis V, they had their fashion show, and I thought this was really smart. They streamed it on X or Twitter. They also streamed it on Instagram Live as well. And at the time of this recording, it's already at 5 million views on X.
Wow.
Which is crazy.
And absolutely just wrapped up.
It literally just got done, bro. Like 30 minutes ago when I was texting you, it was at 3 million views. Now it's at 5 million views. So one thing that really can tell us as far as like fashion shows go, fashion shows been going on for ages. Like literally since the early 1900s, I believe fashion shows have been going on. And the reason why they're so effective is because you can actually now see the product being shown off, and you can imagine yourself in the product. I think they're very smart by doing that, bro. And that principle also bleeds into other businesses' marketing as well. Here's a gem for you. If you're thinking about marketing your product, the most effective way to do so is by showcasing your product in action. Because what that's going to do in the minds of the people that are consuming your content, it's going to put them in the mind of actually consuming your product. They're going to start using their imagination and visualizing themselves in that product, visualizing themselves feeling good, feeling confident about themselves, feeling all of those things because of your product. So that's big. Fashion shows got it, bro.
And we've been anybody who rocks with RFA know we're ads guys. We've been running ads for almost a decade at this point, and we've tested a lot of different type of creatives. And creatives meaning different types of visuals and videos and stuff like that. And by far, not even close, video ads always outperform images. Most like there are a few unicorns out there that will get some success with images, but most of the time our ads, they're video ads and they're going crazy, right? And it's because of what you just said. And I didn't even put 2 and 2 together, but that makes total sense, because a video ad is going, and you know, you always hear these terms of like, you always heard the term, a picture is worth 1,000 words, right? We know that. Well, in our mind, a video is worth 1,000 images, right? It's worth way more because it shows everything that's about the product. You can see it. They can turn around. They can get a feel for it. Like, and it answers, ultimately, it answers a lot of questions about your product, right? Because one thing about marketing and sales, man, is like, we've learned this, a confused mind doesn't buy, right? If someone goes to your website and they are confused about something, meaning they have a question that's left unanswered, there's a great chance they're not going to buy it, period. Right. Because they're confused about something, right? Same thing if they go on one of your webinars and they're thinking about buying one of your products, but they're still confused about something was left unanswered, they're going to leave your webinar and they're not going to buy. Live sales are so big. They're such a powerful way to sell. Like a lot of our students that are doing $250,000 a month, $400,000 a month, these students that are like doing millions of dollars a year, they're doing it through live sales. Just saying, right? So success leaves clues, right?
Success leaves clues, bro. Live sales are so dope. And here's the thing, like, it doesn't matter whether you're selling clothing or you're a coach and you're selling products. Live is the way to do it. We do lives at least one to two times a week. We go live and we sell our coaching product, right? So it's extremely valuable because now all of a sudden you're building more trust, right? And one thing that I love that Louis V actually did, and I'm actually share the video here so everybody can see. But one thing that they did was they actually recruited Shiloh Sanders and Shedeur Sanders, who are Deion Sanders' sons. They played for Colorado this past year, football team, and they did really, really well. They were the topic of conversation. Deion Sanders, he was the topic of conversation. So Pharrell recruited his sons to come and be on the fashion show as well. So they was walking the runway looking fresh and everything. But ultimately, that was very smart because what he did was he hopped on another trend. He knew that them boys were trending. He put them on there as well because now that's noteworthy. That's something that people are going to share. And if you notice, like, even when Kanye does fashion shows and when Kanye's out here doing his thing, he always recruits the popular people, the artists, the models. Sometimes he includes actors and actresses in there, but it's all buzzworthy and it puts more attention on that particular event, which I think is something that's genius, you know. And
it makes sense. You're riding waves, right? Like, and if you want to create a bigger wave, we'll recruit a lot of small waves, and you'll create a tidal wave.
A huge wave, I mean?
Bro. That's the way that it goes, and it works like that in nature. It'll work like that in marketing too.
100%. Mouthful of Marketing is designed to get you thinking differently about the way you see the world. As a consumer, you see the world and you think that's just a cute little video. But as a producer, you see these ads and these videos and you're looking at, yo, how did that just captivate my emotion? How did that bring me in more to the product and make me want to buy it? You know, success leaves clues, man.
That always brings me back to, you know, one of our friends, shout out to Cater, told us this story about one time he paid a mentor $10,000 for one session. And he got on the session with the guy and the guy told him 2 words. He told him 2 words, and those 2 words were pay attention. And Cater, he always tells a story kind of funny, right? He's like, yo, what? Like, I paid this guy 10 grand. He told me 2 words.
Shout out to Cater, man.
Shout out to Cater, man.
Shout out to Cater.
But that story always cracked me up. But at the same time, it's such a learning moment because it's so true. Pay attention. If you understand that success leaves clues, then if you start looking at things differently, you will start to pick up on all different types of trends and tips and strategies just by looking at what people are doing. So I think perspective is so important because, like you said earlier, having the mind of a consumer, you see things differently, right? But when the way that you see things changes, the things that you see change, right? So you have to change your consumer mindset to a producer mindset and start paying attention to what these people are doing, because if it's working for them, it could work for you too.
It could work for you.
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Steven at RFA. Look, there's one thing that we've seen that all successful companies that we know are doing, and that one thing is that they are growing their list off of social media, right? Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. Those are all great, but what happens if those accounts shut you down? All your audience disappears overnight, and that is not good for business. So what you want to do is be transferring all those audiences and taking them onto your own list. Names, emails, phone numbers, right? Now you can market to them anytime you want to, and it's it's security for your business because you own your list. You don't rent it to these social media platforms, right? And we have an event coming up really, really soon called the Grow Your List Challenge. It's a 3-day live event, virtual on Zoom. And we're going to be teaching you guys all the tips, tricks, secrets that we've learned about growing our list. We're going to teach it to you in 3 days. Look, you're going to learn more about marketing in 3 days than you've learned in the past 3 years. And we actually have a money back guarantee to prove it to you. All right. So click the link in the description below. We hope to see you at the next challenge. And now back to the video that you were watching.
Actually, I was just checking out the ad library for Louis Vuitton, and they were actually running ads to get people to watch the event as well. And I just figured out how to share my screen. So let me share it real quick.
And by the way, a little hint too. Again, remember, success leaves clues. So see how he's checking on ads. Everybody in here can do this. Everybody watching this right now can also do this. Yep. You have the availability to go on Facebook and look at what companies' ads are running, and you can dissect them and do all types of cool stuff.
100%, y'all. So this is Louis Vuitton. This is their live stream. 5.3 million viewers. Now, if I play this here, look at the style though. All designed by Pharrell. It's dope.
Yo, bro, I'm gonna have to start rocking some bell bottoms, bro. Okay, so yo, y'all got me inspired right now. All right, so listen, check it out. Yo, pause this, bro. Listen, all right. Y'all got me in the mood. I'm about to start buying some bell bottoms. I'm gonna go get me a cowboy hat. And my man had the purse. The purse looked like a lunchbox.
It did.
Like a lunchbox purse.
Yo, we gotta up our fashion game this year, bro. I think that's what we gotta do, man. We gotta really be them dudes that's out here. Obviously, we stylish, but we gotta be looking next level,
man. You know, yo, drop in the comments below, like, would I fit in some bell bottoms and a cowboy hat? Because I'm telling you, if I get enough comments, I'm gonna buy it, and I'm gonna be on the next Mouthful of Marketing podcast. I'm gonna be on here with a cowboy hat.
That'll be a vibe. Yo, next podcast we do, bro. When we do Ryan's podcast, I'm dead serious, bro. We should do that. We should literally cowboy hats and bell bottoms, bro.
Don't test me, bro.
I'm gonna do it, bro. I'm gonna do it. Y'all think I'm playing? I'm gonna do it anyway, y'all. So that's essentially Louis Vuitton and what they were able to do. Super duper dope. Now the next topic that I want to get into tonight is Stanley Tumblers. Now, Stanley Tumblers has taken the world by storm over the past few years. And I'm going to give the quick backstory, then I want to get your opinion on this, bro. So Stanley Tumblers, they call it Stanley Cup, but not like the hockey cup, right? Stanley Tumblers is.
I thought it was at first when I heard, like, you heard about the Stanley Cup. I was like, I don't like hockey. Like, they're like, no, not that one. I'm like, okay.
Exactly, bro. That's what I thought too. But they were like, nah, Stanley Tumblers. So here's the backstory on Stanley Tumblers. Some of y'all might have heard about Stanley. They've been trending a lot lately, doing a lot of collaborations. Stanley Tumblers started out, I believe it was the early 1900s, and they were mainly used for like World War II, for people in war like that needed a drink, and the tumbler was able to like sustain like its shape even in the most rigorous conditions. It then turned from that to like a camping brand. So if you were outdoorsy, if you were doing your outdoors thing, Stanley Tumblers was your go-to, right? They had everything you needed, camping supplies, a bunch of different things. And their demographic was men. That was who they aimed for, men. And they were doing about $73 million around 2019. 73 mil, which is admirable. That's good.
That ain't bad.
That's nice,
it's
right?
Better than a stick in the eye, as our mentor would say.
For real, right? But they made some plays that allowed them to go from 73 million. Let me get this right. From 73 million to 750 million 4 years later in 2023. They did a 10x.
Come on.
They did a 10x. What in the world could take a brand from 73 million to 750 million dollars?
In 4 years
right now. Yep. Per year, by the way. 750 per year. What could it have been? Wow. So bro, like I was reading about this and it really caught my eye because they were totally like not marketing to women at all. And then there was this women's blog, forgot what it was called. It was this women's blog, and they had reached out to Stanley like, hey, we have some girls that really love your product and we'd love to do a collaboration with you. And at first, Stanley kind of brushed them off like, nah, y'all are just some small time people. But the girls had influence, and I forgot the name of the blog, but they had influence. So what they did was basically Stanley told them, yo, we're not going to like promote you out to the public, but y'all can actually buy our product wholesale and, give it to, your girls in your community. If you want to do that, we're down to do that with you. So the girls bought, I don't know how many tumblers they bought, but they bought a bunch of them and they sold out immediately. They went back to Stanley and told them, and that's when it caught Stanley's eye because of how quickly they sold out of them. Because then what started happening is people started going on TikTok, talking about how they love their tumbler. They started just raving about this particular product. And from that's what sparked everything and gave Stanley the idea, yo, like if we're targeting men and men aren't really doing it for us, but yet these women just created this craze, let's double down on that and let's do more and let's start collaborating with influencers. I want to get your take on that, bro.
Dude, I mean, we've been saying this for ages. Collaboration over competition all day, right? If you're a new brand or an established brand, it doesn't matter. If you want to expand your reach exponentially, start learning how to tap into OPA, other people's audiences. And that goes for us too. We've seen the majority of the big spikes in our sales and the spikes in our jump in our, success, whatever you want to call it. If I always look back to it, it always came back down to some sort of collaboration with another influencer or another brand, right? Yep. So it's worked for us. It's working for them. It's crazy. And honestly, by the way, 2024 and moving forward, we're looking for more collaborations. Like if there's some dope brands or other podcasts or whatever that are watching right now and y'all are interested in doing some collaborations, comment below, DM us, hit us up. We're definitely looking to collaborate because we see the power in that.
100%, man. And Stanley's really, really cool because if you pull out your phone and you go to Instagram and you just use the hashtag Stanley Tumbler or Stanley Cup, you will see a flood of influencers talking about how amazing their Stanley mugs are. It's to the point, right? And I like this tactic that they did to the point where now they don't just have everything available for you to buy anymore. They got really smart. They made it an event as well. And we were talking about events earlier. They made the release of a new Stanley Tumbler an event. So now they only release these particular products at certain times of the month. And they have a very limited supply. So what that does is that creates urgency, which makes people line up, and it creates an influx of hysteria. It makes people so excited. Yo, I got to get it. Hopefully I can get it. Hopefully I'm in line in time. And it creates a wave of demand that automatically gets them to sell out of their supply every single time, to the point where Stanley Tumblers are hard to
literally, bro. I've been seeing some of these videos, literally people running through Target, like not like jogging, like sprinting, like grown people sprinting to go get a cup.
Yo,
that is major influence, right? That is, and the only reason why that's happening is because of what you just said. Urgency, scarcity, right? These are, some people call them sales tactics, but they're just sales principles. It's just the way that the mind works. And it's the reason why we have a phenomenon called supply and demand, right? Supply of something goes down, the price goes up, right? And that's the way that it works. It's all psychological. So if you guys are not using these tactics in your brand, you definitely should. Scarcity is the name of the game. And there's a great book that talks a lot about this philosophy. It's what's it called? Oversubscribed.
That is a good one.
Oversubscribed by Daniel Presley. We'll drop the link in the description below so y'all can check it out. That's an amazing book. And the whole philosophy of this book is to make your brand something that's exclusive, something that is not just always available for everyone at any time, right? And just that idea and the understanding that, oh man, this is not always going to be here, it makes people take action. And the reason why it works is because of the fact that us as humans, like we're designed, it's the way that we're designed. That's why that tactic works, right? Urgency, scarcity, the way it works, it works because we're designed to want to stay comfortable. We're designed to like want to stay where we're at, right? Unless we have a reason to move, we will not move. And y'all need to understand that about all your customers are thinking the same thing. They're feeling the same way. If you don't give people a reason to move, they're never going to move. They're going to stay right there, right? I always use the analogy, if I'm sitting on a couch and I'm super comfortable and you come up to me and say, hey, get up, I'm going to be like, no,
nah, bro,
I'm comfortable, right? But if you come up to me and you dump a bucket of ice water on me, I'm going to get up real fast, right? Yeah. Why? Because I had a reason to.
Exactly.
So if you're a new brand, especially new brands, if you're struggling with getting new customers, struggling with a low conversion rate, people aren't buying your stuff, start adding some scarcity and some urgency to your website, to your pitch, to your webinar, whatever it is that you're doing, and watch the conversions go crazy, man. It's just the way that it works, man. So scarcity is a big one. And that's the reason why, again, you see these videos online of like literally people sprinting through Target. Like they're not jogging, bro. They're grown adults out here sprinting to go get a cup.
That's so
Under
crazy.
no circumstance ever in life would they ever be doing that. But because of the fact that they know there's only this one little stand right here, and once it's done, it's done. And I might not be able to get it, right? They got people running, and that's the way that you want people running towards your products.
Exactly.
You know
exactly. I mean? So they really did master that. And one of the key teaching moments here is influencers. They tapped into influencers, they tapped into collaboration, and that took their brand to all new heights. Think about this, 73 million. 4 years later, they're doing 750 million.
Right.
Shout out to Stanley. Shout out to Stanley for
understanding the demographic switch, right? That's another thing that you guys should think about too. If you're at that place in your business where you're a little bit stagnant and you're wondering, how can I take my business to another level? Think about who it is that you're targeting. Think about your demographic. And if it hasn't been working for you or you're not progressing, switch up your strategy. Because like you said earlier, it was mainly men that they were targeting, and all of a sudden they switched it up to women and it blew up like 10x. So imagine if that happened to your brand. Imagine if you went from selling only to women or only a certain age range or to only a certain state. And what if you broadened it up or switched it up, right?
Yep.
That might be the game changer for you too.
Bro, that's so big, man, because a lot of times people feel like, oh, this is my brand. This is the way it's going to be. I'm not going to change. I have my demographic already and I'm doing just fine. And a lot of people do that. And when they do that, they literally max out the amount of potential that their business has, right? However, if you're smart and you're innovative and you're open to critiques and open to constructive criticism, you have the ability to take a brand that you thought was maxed out and take it to 10x more heights just by being aware and following trends and being open to suggestions, right? It's all about keeping your ear to the streets, man. So don't be stubborn. Try things out.
And bro, and that's the thing, right? Most people pick their target audience based off of their own opinion. And you should never ever base you should never choose your target audience based off of who you think your target audience is, right? 99% of the time you're going to be wrong, right? What you should do is, well, this is at least what we do, and it's been working pretty good, is base your target, like find your target audience based off of data, not opinion, right? And that's exactly what happened with Stanley, man. They had this target audience. It was working pretty good, but they decided to switch it up. All of a sudden, the data told them something completely different than they thought for 100 years, right? Isn't that crazy? Like, what if they would have switched? What if they would have switched up their target audience 100 years ago?
You never know. I mean, TikTok wasn't around back then, but you never know. It could have popped off then too.
Yeah.
But nah, shout out to Stanley. That's a masterclass in marketing. Y'all check out their story because it's really amazing. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna wrap this thing up by talking about our time last week, y'all. We were at Ryan Pinita's WealthCon event. It was dope. We met a lot of people there. And this particular event, this was a real estate event. Now, we are not real estate investors yet, but we will be, right? We're not real estate investors, but we went to the event anyway. Now, the question you would probably ask is, why would y'all go to an event where there's no one in there that you could really connect with? That's like what people would say. And that's what people were asking us. Like, why did y'all even come to the event? But the reason why we came to the event is because we know that real estate agents need our help.
They need a lot of help with marketing. A lot of real estate agents suck at marketing. Let's just be honest.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
We know a lot of real estate agents. They're amazing at real estate, terrible at marketing.
Bruh.
Right?
They think that buying a billboard is effective marketing. And that's probably one of the worst pieces of marketing that you can do, because there's no way to really track your leads. I mean, there's ways, but you got to work for it, right? But there's no way to really do that, you know?
That's a good comparison too. You think about putting up a billboard versus putting up ads online, like Facebook ads.
Yeah.
It's night and day, right?
Yo,
you put up a billboard, dude, it's up for 30 days or 3 months, regardless if it's working or not.
Exactly.
With a Facebook ad, you can put it up, and if it ain't working, you change it the next day.
Yeah. You know who? Right? I think Billie Jean did an experiment with that one time, and he put up a billboard in San Diego, and he compared it to like ads. That's a really dope social experiment. I wonder what the prices are, because we should try that too and just kind of see what that would do.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. There's worse ways that you can spend your money, right? I mean, it's good for brand awareness. You got your face up there. That's cool. It's authority, right? But in terms of like driving conversions, ads are gonna blow that out of the water every day of the week. You know what I mean? So
100%.
Real estate agents need a lot of help with marketing, and we are fortunate enough to have some real estate agents in our mentorship. We have real estate coaches in our mentorship, and we've helped them now. We've now helped them build out funnels, build out custom strategy calls and discovery call funnels, and help them build coaching programs and help them do challenges. And we're helping them do a whole lot of cool stuff. And we met a lot of cool people out in Vegas this week too. We're about to help them as well.
Yeah. And that's why we went out there, by the way. We went out there because we know we can help these real estate agents, because we have the system that they need. Because a lot of times people get it confused and they feel like, oh, if I just get the content right, then the content is everything I need. But they forget about that bridge that bridges the content to your actual product for you to actually convert. Right. We actually have that bridge built out with a high converting system that really does work. So by the way, plug, if y'all are looking for ways to level up your brand to 6 and 7 figures, holler at us, hit us up, Rich from Anywhere. There's a link down below for that. But nah, bro, the event was really dope. I was really impressed, bro, with the way that Ryan's operation happened. Like
really, really good, really impressive. I think the main takeaway is, guys, continue to keep investing in yourself, continue to keep getting around the energy, man. You know, like it's not this thing that you just do one time and then it's done. No. You know, you have to develop the mindset and the understanding that learning is an evergreen, it's an ever happening thing. Lifetime. Be a lifetime learner. You know, never, and especially for all my coaches out there, all my coaches that are looking to build coaching programs and mentoring programs and help other people achieve success. You can never let your teaching outgrow your learning.
No, sir.
You cannot do that. That is bad for business, right? And that's what we're doing. We're constantly looking for new things to invest in, new coaches, networking. There's no better investment ever. I don't care what year it is. I'm talking crypto, real estate, stocks, options, bonds. I don't care what you're talking about. There is literally no better investment than your brain.
That's it.
There is no other better one, right? Because you can't. The thing is, bro, like you can't even like really put a return on it. You can't calculate it because it doesn't just give you a financial return, because the progress that you make and the money that you make, it then also affects your confidence level, and your confidence level raises your vibration. And now that affects the way that you treat your family. It affects the way that you treat your friends. It affects the way that you treat strangers.
Yep.
Right. It affects everything. So it's so difficult to put a return on the investment of yourself. So if you are someone who takes yourself serious, dude, make sure you're investing in yourself on a regular basis and watch what happens to your life.
You got to invest in yourself. And like our coach likes to say, if your coach doesn't have a coach, then your coach is a joke. All right. So you always need to be seeking more knowledge so you can stay ahead of your students, because you always want to give your students more. I think that wraps up episode 3 of Mouthful of Marketing, dog.
Let's do it. Number 3. So we will be back again next week. Rest assured, rain, sleet, snow, bad chargers, slow Wi-Fi. It don't matter what the weather is. We will be back hitting y'all with some more gems. So until then, y'all stay up and keep it rocking with us, man. Peace.
Peace, y'all.